Miranda, are you still going to live in that house? What? Yes. You don't hold back from us, do you? What do you mean? Wow. So you really don't understand what I'm saying. You're dumb. My younger brother's wife mocks me for being a high school graduate. Why does she need to say that now? Then she looked at me with condescending eyes and said, I'm telling you that a low-educated person shouldn't live in a mansion. As I was stunned, Colin opened the back room's door loudly. Hey, Stacey, what are you saying to my sister? My name is Miranda, and I'm a 30-year-old business owner. I'm still single because I used to live a work-centered life, but it's fun enough to live with my mother and brother at my parents' house. We were very close as a family, and we've always had a lot of laughter. But when my father died of illness 3 years ago, I was devastated. I used to live by myself close to my work, but after my father's death, I moved back to my parents' house. My younger brother is 5 years younger than me. Our father passed away around the time when he graduated from university and got a job, so he has stayed with my mother ever since. We renovated our parents' house last year, and not only its exterior, but we also got a system kitchen and got each room beautifully renovated. The finished house is very beautiful and comfortable, and we feel happy every day. My mother is also very happy to cook every day and says that the kitchen is comfortable to use. In the midst of all this, something even happier has happened. My younger brother, Colin, is getting married. My mother and I were very happy and celebrated his marriage. While celebrating at a high-end restaurant, my mother and I bombarded my brother with questions. My younger brother was a bit overwhelmed and started to drink a little more, yet he answered questions one by one. His fiancée is his age, who is a receptionist for his business partner. I hope you're actually working, not just flirting with a receptionist? Of course I am. Yeah, right. You are serious. Having conversations just like that, we were excited to see his fiancée soon. A week later, my brother brought his fiancée. Nice to meet you, my name is Stacey. Stacey is very beautiful, but she is also bright and has a wonderful smile. Sitting in the living room, my mom and I started question bombing my brother and Stacey. Of course, it wasn't like when we were messing with my brother the other day, but we just listened to her gently and happily. According to her story, it was Stacey's who made the first move. When Colin visited the business partner's office, she started making small talk with him. Then he asked her for contact, and they started going out, and got into a relationship. While Stacey was talking, my brother seemed very shy. Did you guys have enough? What's wrong? Are you embarrassed, looking so blushed? Of course I'm embarrassed. When my brother and I were having such conversations, Stacey laughed. I'm an only child, so I enjoy that kind of sibling interaction and I admire it. I want to get along with you, Miranda. I was delighted that Stacey said that. We then exchanged contact, and the three of us started to hang out often. Following that, Stacey would often come to our parents' house and have meals with us. It's a really nice house, and the kitchen is big and seems comfortable to use. She seemed to like the house very much, and often stayed overnight after dinner. She got along with our families so well that I felt like I got a little sister. And they finally submitted a marriage registration and became a married couple. Congratulations! We celebrated together, went to a good restaurant and enjoyed good drinks and food. We had a great time, talking about the wedding. Now that they are married, are you going to live together? My mother asked. Then Stacey said, I'm wondering if we could live in your house. What? Really? My brother was surprised to hear that. Apparently, he didn't know either. That's what you want? When he asked, she nodded her head. And I'm thinking of taking care of your mom in the future. Stacey. Thank you. When Stacey said that, my mother and I felt delighted. My brother met such a lovely person. She will be his great partner. Stacey immediately brought her luggage and moved into our parents' house. We made a vacant room into Stacey's room and our cohabitation officially started. She had been to our house so many times before that, so we thought it would be much more fun to have her. However, issues started to arise after her move-in. It all started one night when my mother, Stacey, and I were drinking together. Colin was out drinking with his friends, so we were having girls' night with drinks at home. We were having a good time talking and drinking, then Stacey asked me this. By the way, where did you go to college? Oh, I didn't go to college because I started working after I graduated from high school. What? Stacey froze for a moment hearing what I said. Miranda, are you a high school graduate? Stacey seemed nothing but shocked. Yes. I thought she was maybe a person who would discriminate against people based on their education level. As a proof of this, her attitude toward me drastically changed after this day. She talks to my mother normally, but obviously she doesn't react the same way to me. I thought it was only temporary, but she ignored me when I said good morning the next day. And even after that, she kept a cold attitude towards me. I tried to act normal in front of my mother and Colin, but she would make fun of me when it is just the two of us. I never thought that my husband's sister would be a high school graduate. I'm really disappointed. I'm embarrassed to introduce you to my relatives and friends. Okay. Why don't you go to college now? But you're not smart, that's why you're a high school graduate. It's pathetic. Being a high school graduate and single at your age. You should go to a marriage agency. You could get married if you are not being too picky about a man's appearance. She would make fun of me just like this. She was completely a different person compared to when we first met. I was almost impressed how she could hide that side of her. I got to dislike her so much. I tried my best not to be alone with her. I increased the amount of work and started working late at night. That way, I wouldn't have that many chances to see her, who now was a full-time housewife. I should focus on my future while distracting myself like this for a while. Maybe she will change her mind if she lives here for a few years. With that in mind, I lived my days. And a few months passed after Stacey came to our home. The day of her brother's wedding has finally arrived. The two had been planning their wedding for a long time and had a lot of discussions about what they wanted to do. And the actual wedding was very wonderful. Only today, I can honestly congratulate Stacey. She doesn't seem to have a terrible attitude towards him, and they seem to be happy together, so things will probably be fine. However, Stacey did something impossible even at this wedding. It was when I was resting in the waiting room for the families after the wedding. Stacey came to me when I was alone. Stacey, thank you for your wedding. I wonder if there'll be an after party. Have fun. I didn't plan to participate, so I was glad to say hello before leaving. I'm sure she'll be quiet today. Thinking about this, Stacey sighed. And she said, Miranda, are you still going to live in that house? What? Yes. When I said that, Stacey sighed again. You don't hold back from us, do you? What do you mean? Not at all. It's crazy that you don't understand what I'm saying right away. Well, actually, no matter how much I talk behind your back, you didn't really understand what I meant. My younger brother's wife mocks me for being a high school graduate. Why does she need to say that now? And she looked at me with condescending eyes and said, I'm telling you that a low-educated person shouldn't live in a mansion. What? It's a very nice house, and you don't deserve it. You make fun of people like that again. I'm not making fun of you, I'm telling you the facts. It's just far-fetched. Oh my God, you are so annoying. Get out of the house and don't come back to that house again. Stacey yells at me like that. As I was stunned, Colin opened the back room's door loudly. It was Colin who was standing there. Hey, Stacey, what are you saying to my sister? What? Hey, Colin. How long have you been here? From the beginning. I've been here since when you asked my sister how long she was going to stay at home. What? Have you been saying such terrible things to your sister all this time? No. I didn't do that. It's a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? You confessed yourself earlier that you had been speaking ill of her. Oh, that's how you judged people based on their high school degree, college degree, educational background, and title. So you picked me by my title? It might be odd to talk about myself like this, but I'm highly educated and my income is higher than my generation, right? That's the only thing you were attracted to, wasn't it? When he said that, Stacey was speechless. He is a grown-up, so I want him to think about himself and make his own decisions. I couldn't stand it any longer as his older sister. Colin, are you sure you want to stay married to Stacey? If you stay with someone like this, it might affect your future career, you know? Hey, what are you talking about? We're newlyweds, so there's no way we're going to get a divorce. Stacey shouted, looking quite upset. Besides, you don't have the right to tell Colin what to do or talk about his work like that. You're a high school graduate, and must be paid less than half of his salary. He is currently working as an elite employee at a fast-growing IT company. Stacey is so upset that she ends up exposing her true nature even in front of him. As I sighed, Colin got angry with Stacey again. Stacey, what are you talking about? She's the president of the company I work for. Huh? That company was created by my sister while she was in college. What? Isn't she a high school graduate? In terms of education, I'm a high school graduate, but I was accepted to the university and went to school until my sophomore year. But then I started and ran my own business. I didn't have time to go to school anymore, so I decided to quit college. Oh, that's it. Did you get accepted to that famous university? Wow, I didn't know. If you knew, you wouldn't have behaved like that? When I asked, Stacey nodded yes. I mean, you're judging people by their titles. Oh. Stacey seems to have realized that she has exposed herself. I decided to condemn her even more. Now that you understand that I'm the president, I'll tell you one more thing. I paid for the renovation of that house, so it's already mine. So if someone is going to leave, it's you. When I said that, Stacey got pale. In a second, she was begging Colin. Hey, Colin. You will never break up with me, right? I'm going to apologize for everything, and I'm going to do all the chores. So please. Stacey begged him. However, he had enough of her and was not planning to forgive her. It's impossible to regain trust once it's lost unless a miracle happens. And such a miracle will never happen. Stacey, we should break up. Also, I'm going to tell everyone that the after party was cancelled. No, please. Stacey had fallen to her knees. Ignoring her, her brother left the room. In this way, the wedding of her brother and Stacey came to a terrible end. Colin immediately confronted Stacey and demanded her a divorce with papers. Stacey was reluctant, but Colin hired a good divorce lawyer, and the discussion progressed to settle it. Apparently, she has been quite proud of being a part of his legacy to the people around her. Now she got divorced right after the wedding and is no longer able to socialize out of embarrassment. I'm sorry that your marriage history got messed up. When I apologized to my brother, he shook his head. What are you talking about? My sister revealed her true color. You saved me. Next time, I'm going to marry someone you trust. Colin says something like that. As I watched him talking like this, I wondered if I would be next to get married. But for now, I'm happy to just be the three of us.